happy 11th of December. Happy Monday. I hope you have all had a wonderful weekend and I hope you're all having a lovely start to the week. The 11th of December sounds a bit crazy to me. Bit scary actually, because I've been busy up till now in December. So I'm like extremely unprepared for Christmas, and now we're into double digits, and I'm not prepared at all. So that's a little bit daunting. Need to get sorted out just a little bit. But yes, I hope you're all feeling wonderful and your week is starting off well. I also hope you really enjoyed my craft fair video Vlogmas and that you liked the little glimpse into my craft fairing, even if it wasn't that much to show because it's such a busy time and such a busy weekend. I do hope you enjoyed that. And admittedly, I am, in some ways relieved it's over because now I can chill out a bit. Yesterday evening was so chilled. I didn't do very much. I did roll up the skein of the knitting shed yarn and I got on with my inner whale scarf as I was planning to, so that's good. Made some good progress on that and it could be finished in the next day or two. Other than that, it was just finals everywhere on the telly, so again, I said I'm not much of a telly watcher, but it just felt like everything I'm a bit interested in was on. So I watched the Mamma Mia, I Have a Dream final. I don't know if any of you have been watching that, but I'm like so into musicals and musical theatre. And I used to love the Andrew Lloyd Webber shows that they did years ago, like the Nancy one that had, did it have Sam Barks on? Sam Barks and I think Jodie Prenger won that. And Andrew Lloyd Webber was actually on them. And anyway, I used to love those shows. So I was super excited when they decided to do the Mamma Mia one. And anyway, the final last night, I was very happy with the result. Wouldn't have minded a win as a Sky as well. But I am happy with Tobias. I think he's an incredible singer. So yeah, I watched that. And there was obviously the I'm a Celeb final, which again, I said that in like my last podcast episode that I wanted Sam to win, so I'm chuffed with that as well. I caught up on Strictly Come Dancing as well, which was the semi-final, not the final. Not happy with that result, mind, not at all. But it's fine, what can you do? It's fine. Annabelle was sort of my second choice to win. I'm very much Team Ellie and Vito. Vito is just hilarious. And incredible as a dancer, and so is Ellie, to be honest, she's just great. But Annabelle was totally my second choice and that's gone now, so what can you do? So yeah, no, that was very much the chill evening that I needed after such a busy week. That's basically a 7-day working week, which was intense, but I'd much rather be busy than just doing nothing, so yeah. But the chill evening was much needed and I loved it. So this morning I have definitely slept for a little bit longer than I should have. But generally today back to a bit of a sense of normality. It's just a work from home day, which is what a Monday would normally be. So I'm going to be working. There is no concert, no craft fair, nothing extra. It's, yeah. And other plans for today are to hopefully just do a bit of crafting of my own, catch up on my own whips and revisit them now that the craft fair is out the way and I don't have to think about squids and it cut out, so I don't know where I got up to. But yes, I will be hopefully getting on with my inner whale scarf at some point, maybe finishing that, or at least just get a chunk of that done. And I don't know, maybe the Jason Cashmere, or maybe we'll go all out and we'll cast something on, because there are plenty of projects on my list. I could actually do with a bit of help deciding on like some yarn for certain projects. So maybe we could chat about that later, because you lot are very helpful when it comes to yarn choices and yarny opinions and project opinions. So maybe you all seem to like my yarn choice for the Humbly shawl, so that's really reassuring because that's quite a big project to then decide halfway through, oh, this looks rubbish. So thanks for that. Thanks for your thoughts on it and reassurance and everything. I don't know if I'm going on tangents or not. I'm just chaos today. The only other plan for today then really is just that I need to get a bit like organised and tidied, because I've been putting off tidying for a while. It's not being like a top priority, but then that has meant that it's got worse. So I've kept saying like, I'll do it after the candlelight tour, or I'll do it after the Oosburn Craft Fair. And now it's after both of those, and I need to get sorted and organised. My parents used to say when I was younger that if I didn't get tidied by Christmas, that Santa wouldn't come and Santa wouldn't give me any presents. So I'd better get tidied, otherwise Santa's not going to come and Santa's not going to give me any presents. This feels like one of the first days since I started Vlogmas that I've not got any proper plans really. Actually, I did have plans this evening. I was supposed to see a friend, but I've texted him to try and rearrange because I just really feel like I need a day to just not go out anywhere. I feel like my face really needs a day to not have any makeup on. Like, even I might not look as nice, but I think my face needs it and I need the rest. So that's what I'm gonna do. Hopefully my friend can rearrange. Like, God knows when I'll rearrange too, because I'm super busy again after today. But we'll figure it out. It'll be fine. Right, I'm gonna stop rambling and I'm gonna get on with some work because I need to work today. And I will catch up with you at some point. Maybe when I'm getting on with some crafting, or I don't know, who knows. Today's a bit of a random day, a bit of a who knows what's going to happen day. Okay. Sort of just wanted to pop on while I'm having a cuppa and a biscuit break. I wanted to pop on to show you like an update of my scarf, but then I sort of thought that realistically when you're doing a pattern that's just a constant repeat and is in a block colour, like there's not really like a next section to update you on. It's just like, oh, this is a bit longer now. So actually, in hindsight, maybe you don't need an update. Maybe I just want to show off this lovely pattern. I don't know. You can see it anyway. I think I'm going to be very happy with the length now that I've got this extra skein going in. Yeah. I think it is a good sort of relaxing pattern for me. And it's really nice to be making something sort of with crochet again actually, because I feel like a lot of the main of my I feel like a lot of the me projects I've been doing lately and my bigger projects have all been knitting, which is because I'm so eager to learn with all the knitting and I'm loving the learning. Like, to learn to do the cable hat and to do the shawl I did. I was so proud of myself. I've really enjoyed that. But yeah, I feel like I've been neglecting crochet a bit, because the only other crochet bits I've been doing have been the shop stuff, and then just like some basic granny blankets, which we all love a granny blanket, like that's fine. And it's great to have one on the hook at all times in my mind. But yeah, I just feel like all of my bigger projects lately have been knitting, and crochet is my first love when it comes to crafts, so it's been nice to do this. And I'm really glad I chose a crochet project for the rest of this yarn, because then it's nice to see how this yarn works up as a knitting project and as a crochet project, because you know, they're similar crafts but they're also very different and they work up so differently. Again though, I'm like so excited to see what this is like when it's blocked, because the shawl I made with this yarn, just, it was nice before it was blocked, but it was incredible once it was blocked. I think sometimes blocking maybe doesn't make the biggest difference, but with this yarn the drape just became something else, and the yarn itself just seemed to bloom. It was nice, it was very nice, so I'm very excited to block this. Although blocking in the winter is a nightmare, especially when you live in the north of England and you can't dry anything. So that'll be a fun challenge, and will probably take me like 3 days to dry, but it's fine, it's okay, and it's so worth it. I'm going to finish my cuppa, I'm going to do a bit more of this while I have my cuppa, and then I'm going to have to get back on with work and emails and all of the fun stuff. But I'll come back to you on my next cuppa break, or at some point, maybe my lunch break. It might be lunch break next. What time is it? What time is it? Oh, it's only 10 to 11. Right, catch you in a bit. Hi, I am on my lunch break at the minute, and I thought now would be a good time to pop on and talk about some of the patterns on my radar, and use this as a chance for you to sort of help me make decisions on maybe some of the yarn choices. And like some of them I'm not sure, it's yarn that I've got and I'm not sure which pattern to do to suit it the most. There are a million things on my Ravelry wish list or favourites or whatever, and there are a million things I want to make, and even the stuff I've sort of got together here to talk about would just take me ages to make. But there are some patterns in particular that I'm just super eager to make, you know, in the near future or have a go at, and yeah, let's get on with it. Let's talk patterns. The first pattern I've noted down that I'm really eager to make at the minute is the Sophie shawl, which I am sure that all of you have heard of. It's by Petite Knit, which are, you know, they're so popular as designers. And I feel like this Sophie shawl, and there was the Sophie scarf as well, which was obviously like a mini version. I feel like this was such a popular pattern, like over the last year or however long it's been, and it almost became like a trend, which I think maybe the fact that it was a trend sort of thing put me off making it a bit. And I actually just wasn't keen on the pattern to start with, and just the more I've seen it and the more I've seen some beautiful makes of it, it's really grown on me, and I'm ready to join the trend. So this pattern it's a knit pattern, not a crochet, and it's worsted weight yarn I need, and I am between two options. I'll show you. Okay, really actually I'm just between one option in different colours. So I've got this and I've got this. Now I'm just thinking I would maybe wear this more as a scarfy shawl thing. Both of these skeins are from the Border Mill, which is one of my favourite yarn sellers out there. It just is. I've used this yarn before. This is the alpaca tweed. It's 100% alpaca. It just has the best feel and the best spin and the best, yeah. I've used this to make a granny wrap shawl, which I might try and insert a picture of. And if you watch my podcast, you'll have heard about that. And it was such a joy to work with. It was beautiful. So I have quite a bit more of this yarn in my stash. This one I have 4 skeins of in my stash. And that's the colour Velvet. This one I have 6 skeins of, and that's the colour Charcoal. And the reason I bought so much was because they were discontinuing it, and I just couldn't bear the thought of this yarn not being in my life. So I bought as much as I could afford, basically, at the time. These are the 2 yarns in between, I think, for the Sophie shawl. And I'm going to go straight on to the next pattern that I'm thinking of, because I'm thinking of using this yarn as well. And it's a question of which one gets which colour, pretty much. So the other pattern is also a petite knit, and it's the Stockholm slipover. And it's becoming ridiculous how much I've been talking about this pattern, or how long I've been talking about it for. Because I think someone gifted me this pattern. Yes, a lovely viewer gifted me this pattern on Ravelry last year as a Christmas present, which was beyond sweet. And I'd wanted to make it even before then. And I think the reason that I've put this off so much is because my confidence is just not there with knitting. It really isn't. And even though I've made a couple of really gorgeous things like the cable heart and the shawl, I just don't have the confidence with knitting anywhere near like I do with crochet. And I think I do lack a lot of self-belief, and I just see a pattern with all these new things, or with garments, it's like the construction elements that really freak me out. And yeah, it puts me off, and I freak out, and I go back and either don't do the pattern, or I go and do something super basic instead, and it's like, I think I just need to find that confidence and get over it a bit, because it's like, it's knitting, like what is the worst that's gonna happen? It's not like, this isn't a life or death thing, Jen. This is just, yeah. So I think that's why I've put off making this for so long. But I'm done. I need to stop. For this pattern, anyway, I need 3 or 4 skeins of worsted as well. And it's between these 2 for the shawl and for the Stockholm slipover. I think I'm leaning more towards this for the slipover, the velvet colour, and this for the shawl. But then, to be fair, I'm still going to have some of this left over if I use this one for the shawl. But I just think that way around I would wear the items more. But I would love to hear what you think, and if you agree, or what you think would look better in each of the patterns, because I trust your judgment very much. And it would be very useful to know what you think. Right, moving on. Another project that I have talked about making for so long, far too long, and again, just haven't had the confidence to go for, is a cardigan. And I think I definitely want to knit the cardigan, not crochet, at least for now. Although there are some lovely crochet cardigan patterns out there. And I have viewed so many knitted cardigan patterns, it is unbelievable now. But I think I am now between the Felix cardigan and the Bonnie cardigan, which are both very popular patterns. The Felix in particular, I have seen some beautiful versions of it. They both look like quite good beginner patterns, and they are both in worsted weight yarn again. So I know this would mess up the petite knit plans, but one of the strong possibilities is this. This would make a lovely cardigan. But actually, other than these yarns, I don't really have any yarns in my stash where I've got enough to make a cardigan in worsted weight. So I can either go for it with this, or this is a time where I'm looking for yarn recommendations. If any of you have made those patterns in particular, Maybe let me know what you've used and how it worked out and what you think. Yeah, I would want it as something quite neutral, something I would be able to wear with a lot of outfits. Because the whole point is I wear loads of dresses like this, like long dresses, and I would really like a nice little slouchy but cropped-ish cardi to wear with them. So if you can think of any good worsted weight yarns, you know the sort of thing I like. Sort of sheepy and, yeah, neutral. Like a green or a grey maybe. Any yarn recommendations for those are greatly appreciated. Next pattern on my radar, actually, scrap that. Next sort of pattern on my radar, sort of yarn I'm desperate to use, not sure on the pattern, please help me out, is, sorry that's work, some more beautiful, beautiful knitting shed yarn. Again, if you are a watcher of my podcast, you will have probably seen me show this yarn off before. Okay, this is the yarn that we're working with. Absolutely stunning. So this is 100% Peruvian Highland wool in DK weight from the knitting shed. This is the colour Penny Dreadful, and this is the colour, oh wait, this is undyed. This is undyed. Okay, not the intention when they were bought, but now the only thing I can imagine is something striped. I think this would make a beautiful striped garment, which again, terrified to make, but I can do it. I can do it. I just have to try. The patterns I'm between for this are the Tolster Tee and the Anna Winter pullover. I think it's the Anna Winter pullover. The Tolster Tee, I have seen so many lovely projects of. It's such a popular pattern on Ravelry, and it is a knitting pattern again, not crochet. I'm going to go on to crochet patterns afterwards, I think. And this pattern is not necessarily a striped one, but I've seen so many different projects where people have really adapted the pattern, like some in block colours, some in funky yarn, but just one colour of yarn, some in fades, some in stripes, and some where they've put in little yarn overs and holes and things and just totally adapted this pattern, which fills me with confidence that it's a very good choice. But I can't decide if I would rather have a long sleeve sort of thing and do a jumper. So the other option was the Anna Winter, which I just love the look of. I think this would just look beautiful for that pattern. However, the pattern is for worsted yarn. So what do you think? Do you think that would still be a good choice and I just have a go at adapting that with needle size and gauge and stuff? Let me know. Let me know what you think would be better. I can't decide, and it's such beautiful yarn. You know, you really want to get it right when you're working with stuff like this, because that is some of the most, oh, look at it. Okay, so another yarn on my radar, is that, can you say that? Another yarn that I'm really, I really want to use and find a good pattern for is my Gilead yarn from, is it Daruma Natura? Oh, it's here, it's here. De Rerum Natura. Putting it on the screen for my incorrect pronunciation. Now, I bought this like a year ago maybe at Yak in Brighton, and I really want to use it because it's gorgeous. So I have, at the minute, I just have 4 skeins, and they're all different colours. And I remember standing for ages in the shop at the time trying to like make combinations of colours and what I liked. These colours are just gorgeous and they couldn't be more me at all. Now, the questions with this one, I would say, is I am between, do I get a bit more of this and do I make a blanket? Do I make some sort of lovely either striped or square patchworky sort of blanket, which would probably be crochet, Or can you think of any nice sort of striped jumper patterns where this would be good? It's all 100% wool, it's worsted weight. Because I'm yet to see a pattern that screams out at me. This is just covered in hair. I mould so much. But yeah, I'm yet to see a pattern that screams out at me for this. What do you think? Blanket or jumper? Blanket or jumper? This is the question. I really can't decide. I would definitely wear this as a garment. But I can also just see it as a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous blanket. Oh, it's such a big decision. I act like knitting and crochet decisions are like life or death. They're not, by the way. Okay. That is your next question. What do you think? Because that's beautiful and I'm so desperate to use it. Okay. Last knitting query. Now I have 2 pairs of yarn, if you like, that are basically the same colour palette, or like very, very similar. And both of them I want to do some colour work with. Now, when I did like my end of year videos, or maybe like my first one of this year, I talked about like knitting and crochet resolutions, if you like, and things I wanted to achieve this year. And a lot of my knitting related ones were to do with colour work. And I've just gone the opposite way this year, and I have really focused, I think, on texture and developed that. Obviously the cables, the not quite lacework, but the shawl I made was again based on texture, not colourwork at all, and I haven't even touched colourwork still, and we're in December, and it's fine obviously if I don't start that anytime soon, but I am still very eager to try colourwork and to get into that. And I've got several patterns in mind. There were some little arm cuffs that I really wanted to try. They were sort of Fair Isle but very basic, and I thought they'd be a perfect first pattern, and they still might be. But this is a full circle sort of slight tangent. I have, as I was saying, 2 pairs of yarn that I think I want to make colourwork cowls with for both. So the first pair of yarn is these 2 beautiful skeins from Anfield Farm. They're 100% Shetland wool, and this is the colour Tweed Gold, and this is the colour Natural. There you go. And I got these from the North East Wool Show, which was my first ever wool festival, yarn festival in the summer. I chatted for ages with the guy at the stall here. I'm sorry that I can't remember your name, it was months ago now. Yeah, I spent a lot of time at this stall. They probably had like the least variety out of everyone, and yet I was so drawn back to them. They have a big focus on mohair in their shop, but I went for this, and honestly, if they'd had it available, I would have bought a blanket quantity, because the other colours they had as well were so nice. And yeah, I went back to the stall like 8 times and spoke to the guy so much. He was probably sick of me by the end of it. But this is what I got in the end. I just got the 2 skeins and thought this would make some beautiful colour work. Also, follow their Instagram. The goat content is incredible. So the other pair that I showed on my latest podcast, these 2 from Ginger Twist Studio in Edinburgh. These are Masham BFL base, and they are also DK weight. And I mean, if you want to hear me talk about the yarn and the shop more, head to my last podcast. But these are beautiful, just to sum up. And anyway, for both of these, I'm thinking of colourwork cowls. And the possibilities are the Triceratops cowl by Jamie Lomax. I really also like the Dewlap by Anne Kingston. And no, I think they're the 2 main choices. I would say they're the 2 main ones, and I'll put the pictures in as always. So the question probably is, which one's which? I have no idea. I think it's harder to decide because they're so similar. I mean, when you put them up like that, they don't seem too similar, but they are a very similar colour palette. Or, so, okay, so if you could help me pick between those, great. If you've got any thoughts. Equally, if you can think of any other ones that would really suit these colours, let me know. I just want to use all my beautiful yarn and make such beautiful things. Gosh, it's gorgeous. Right, that is all I'm going to talk about for the knitting project. That's me acting as if that wasn't a ridiculous amount of patterns. By the way, you don't have to like give me suggestions for every single thing I've mentioned. That's like a big ask. But if you have any thoughts or any comments or anything on any of the patterns or yarns or questions I've asked, then help a girl out, please. Because again, I totally trust your judgment and you're all so wonderful and crafty. Next up, crochet projects. There aren't as many that I'm going to mention. Okay, so some crochet patterns that have sort of come onto my radar very recently are from the Autumn Acorn, which is Judy, and Judy has the most wonderful podcast as well as a blog and obviously Instagram, and she is just the most talented designer. She makes the most beautiful things and she also just makes the most lovely videos on her podcast. She lives in a gorgeous cabin and just they're so relaxing and peaceful to watch, and she just is so talented. So please check out her videos, please check out some of her patterns because she's wonderful. And if you're watching, hi Judy. Anyway, she has several patterns that I would love to try making, and a lot of them are crochet. And the first one, which she has free at the minute on her blog, and that's just over December, so if you like the look of this, you need to get it now. You need to, because it won't be free forever. And the pattern that I am rambling about is her yarn candy scarf. It's just so fun. It looks so fun and sort of simple, but the way she has used the yarns and things for this, it looks really, really nice. So, here's a picture of it. And my thoughts for this are, because it's a crochet pattern and it's DK weight yarn that she tells you to use with it. I don't have loads of funky DK weight yarn, and I would definitely, for this pattern, I would want to keep it colourful. I think that's the style of the scarf. And I know I normally wear neutral stuff, but every now and then a bit of colour, especially when it's designed so well, is great. So, as I don't have lots of DK that I could use with it, rather than go out and buy loads, I do have quite a few single skeins of fingering weight that I think could work quite nicely together for this. So I would need something plainer probably as my contrast colour, which is probably where the question's going to come in. But the yarns that I have in my stash that I'm sort of thinking of using as my other colours, I have several pixie yarn skeins that I bought last year, earlier this year, in the January sales. So while they're quite different, they are sort of, you know, they're on the same wavelength, if you like. So I think they would work. I also have this lovely skein from Bellwether Yarns, which is a lovely shop in Leeds. Now I think they would all sort of work. I also have this one from Pixie Yarns. I'm not sure if that would be a bit too different. A bit too, like, too bright among the others? Yeah. Maybe if we leave that out. Thoughts? Do we think they work? I think they work. But then I just don't know what colour I would use in between. I don't know, do I just use like a white? Because a white would really make the rest of these colours pop. And that would be nice. Oh, I just can't decide. So anyway, gonna double up these to make a DK weight. And I think those are my colours set for this make. think this is one I might cast on quite soon. But yeah, I just can't think of what my contrast colour is going to be, and obviously I will have to order something because I don't think I've got anything sort of more neutral. Big decisions. Now the absolute last pattern on my radar is, sorry I just buffered there. The last pattern on my radar at the minute that I'm thinking of maybe making soon is the Daisy Tee, which is by Yay for Yarn. Cute name. I found this one just on Ravelry, and here it is. I would definitely make the crop version of this because that's just my style. I like, not a cropped crop top, but I like something that sits on the waist or above the waist. But I just think this is really cute. It's such a cute design. Love the daisy detail, and I do think I would get lots and lots of wear out of this. So I would like to use something fairly plain but not too plain. I definitely think use some sort of yellowish tone because of the name, and it would look lovely and I would wear that. Now the pixie yarn skein I showed you before is a strong possibility. The only thing is I would need another skein, so whether or not pixie yarn is still dyeing this colour or not. If not, I am gonna try and get something I think along the same lines. But I definitely think something yellow and something similar to the picture or to this. This one's obviously a bit more orangey. The colour for this, by the way, is Pumpkin Patch. So, but yeah, I would really like to cast that on soon, I think. It's very cute and I would wear that a lot, I think. Okay, so that is just a little quick look at some of the patterns on my radar at the minute, things I want to hopefully maybe cast on in the near future, and have those queries about. So again, don't feel like you have to answer every single thing I've asked. You don't have to answer any of it, you very well might not. But if you can help a girl out at all, please do. And I hope you like the look of some of those patterns, and maybe it's inspired you to either check out some new designers or to cast on some of the same sort of things. Right, I'm gonna make some lunch because this is my lunch break and I'm just talking about yarn and playing with yarn like I do. I'm gonna get some food and I will catch up with you whenever. Thanks. Hello, I just wanted to pop on, as it's much later in the day. It is 20 to 8 in the evening now, but I didn't want to leave the video with absolutely no sign off, even though I do half these days. I've had a really productive day work-wise. I did get some tidying done, although not as much as I maybe should have done. So yeah, I've achieved a lot of what I wanted to, and I did get a good chunk of my scarf done, although there's obviously a good amount of the evening left to do a bit more. But yeah, I'm probably just going to sign off now because I don't expect I'll be doing a lot else that's worth sort of you joining me for, really. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give it a like and please subscribe for notifications for more videos, and because it just helps me out so much. And yeah, thank you for joining me. I realised this Vlogmas episode was more like a podcast, really, but hopefully you liked that. So yeah, thank you for spending a bit of time with me today, and I will see you again tomorrow for day 12. Good night.